Hello, this is Dr. Moyes, and I'm going to review the setup for the stearic acid monolayer to calculate Avogadro's number. So this lab is a very simple and elegant lab in its design, but it has a lot of nuance to it and in order to get the right numbers and a lot of calculations, which is why at the end we'll be doing the whole calculations and learning how to do those calculations. But I'm just going to walk through the setup and how to get your numbers, and then you guys will be doing the calculations later in lab. So for this lab, you need a plastic tray here that'll hold your water, a secondary containment tray here. These are blue lunch trays. Just to make sure that you don't spill too much water, you'll want to have lots of extra napkins around because there will be water spilled in this lab. But it's just water, so you can just clean up with napkins and throw them right in the trash. Other things you're gonna need are a long ruler, or a 1-foot ruler works best. You can use a smaller one too, but the bigger ones are easier. Scissors, dark thread so you can see it against the light colored tray, and then our stearic acid in hexanes. So it's dissolved in hexanes, and the exact amount of your solution, you'll need to record that in your lab notebook so you know exactly how concentrated it is for your lab section. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a barrier of string in a big circle on top of our water, and then the stearic acid is going to form a monolayer within that circle, okay, to do that. So let's set up our circle first, and then we'll start adding our hexane. So the first thing you're going to do is take your dark thread, and you need 60 centimeters, or basically 2 of these, since these are 30 centimeters long. It doesn't have to be too exact overall, just some large amount of string. The next thing that you're going to do is you want to take your 2 ends of your string and tie them together. You need to do at least a double knot just to make sure you create one solid barrier. If the wall has any holes in it, it will not work. And again, not the easiest thing to tie with gloves, but you'll get some practice doing that, and you can have plenty of leftover on the sides. So then I hold it and then just tighten it down. There we go. The next part here is if you have a lot of leftover on your knot, just to keep it from breaking our barrier, I'm going to trim off these ends. You want to leave enough that the knot doesn't break, but not too much that it gets taut. Next, we want to have a full circle, so I'm going to place it down, and that's the kind of thing that we want to get rid of. So you can either use your syringe, or you can use a glass stirring rod or a metal spatula, and we just need to pull this all the way out so that it is approximately making a nice circle. Okay, so now that the lines aren't overlapping at all, this one might need to pull out a little. You also need to make sure that in no place is it up. So it's hard to see, but if you notice, there's some places are higher than others. So you want to make sure, particularly around this knot region, I'm going to need to move this one out, get that one straight, that it is completely flat and laying on top of the surface. If your string sinks and it goes completely under, then just get a new piece of string and try again. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you look around, there's no places down. Next part here is, these are syringes, so safety hazards here with the syringe. They are very sharp. This is the same type of syringe that your doctor uses to get blood from you, so they are sharp enough to poke and puncture your glove, your finger, anywhere else. So just be really careful when you're using these. If you don't want to use one of these for there, again, anything long and skinny will work. You can use one of these, metal spatula, or you can use a glass stirring rod as you're going forward, just to make sure that it is down in all of those places, okay? Going forward. Once you have your syringe, right, and you're looking out, syringe has, again, graduated numbers on the side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of our stearic acid in hexanes. Now, hexane is very volatile, so if you're not actively using this, you wanna make sure that you keep it closed. You need to make sure that the tip is completely submerged in your liquid, and then you can pull the plunger up. Now you can see we have some amount of hexanes in here. You only need like 0.5 mLs or something like that, approximately, to fill up your entire circle here. It's a very small amount, but it can be very hard to get that out. So some things that I use to help is practice, okay? I hold it with one finger here around the top, and then you wanna practice just getting one drop out at a time. So going very slowly until, as you can see here, that was too fast. I got way too much out at a time. So you just wanna practice until you can get it drop by drop. Once you're ready, then you need to read exactly where the bottom of the meniscus is and record that in your notebook. Then you can start adding drop by drop into here. As you can see, I added a lot and it's already started to make that circle. Nice circle. If it doesn't make the circle, then just keep adding a few drops until it makes a circle, and then read the amount on there and use your ruler and measure exactly how wide it is. So this one looks to be 18 and 1, 2, 3, 18.3 centimeters wide. If it doesn't stay, you can continue to add more drops as needed. And if you add too many drops, it's really hard to see. But if you look at the glare here, you'll see that the stearic acid starts to make multiple layers, and you'll see here that it's just started to stack up on each other and you can see it. If you can see it, you've added too much. Again, start over. Okay, so the easiest way to start over is to either take a glass stirring rod or a large one and just roll off the top and push this all to the side. Okay. Now, the next part here is once you do that, you will need to fill this back up again. So I didn't do this at the beginning because I had it full, but you need to make sure that it is very full of water because you need the surface tension to be there. So you basically want to continue to fill it back up again until you can see the water is over the edge. So you can see the surface tension holding that water together. That surface tension will really help hold your string on top as well as your monolayer. Without the surface tension, the water will move too much and it will collapse your wall and you won't be able to hold it. So hopefully that'll help you guys to create your own monolayers of stearic acid. And remember, you have to do 3 of them per group. Have a good lab.